I'm 38. My ex-husband Mark is 41. All told, we were together for over 11 years. The kids are grown and gone. Our daughter graduated from a prestigious high school, got married at 18, and she and her husband emigrated to Canada, where she's now in university. Our son enlisted and is away at a military academy. So, in the end, it was just him and me. Naturally, after all those years, the feelings had dulled, at least mine for him. Where we were once bound by the kids, now we were just bound by routine. Sometimes we'd watch a series together, but lately we were just living separate lives under the same roof. To put it bluntly, I was bored with him. As my daughter would say, we had no spark. We barely even had anything to talk about anymore. Over time, I came to a hard realization. Mark was not the man I wanted to grow old with. And then he entered my life. Oliver. He's 4 years younger than me, strong-willed, passionate, with a sense of humor that could light up a room. He'd gotten divorced 2 years ago. His wife had cleaned him out, taking the house and everything in it. Suing her was beneath him, he said, so he'd been living with his parents. I met him at work. He drives the company shuttle, and I was always the last one he'd drop off after my shift. I knew I was falling for him. Oliver had everything my husband was missing. Our affair ignited quickly. Long talks about everything and nothing. Embraces that felt like coming home. Kisses that left me breathless. I couldn't live a double life. I couldn't lie. So, I told my husband everything. I genuinely felt sorry for him. He's not a bad man, and we had so many years of history. There was also the complicating factor of our home. The condo we lived in was bought by my parents before we were even married. He had no property of his own. The house from his late mother was occupied by his younger brother, who has a wife and 3 kids. There was clearly no room for him there. I couldn't just throw him out on the street. For one, he couldn't afford a place. And secondly, the kids would never forgive me. He was in shock. But what wounded him even deeper was my plan for Oliver to move into our house. He just sighed, defeated, and said, "It's your condo. Bring home whoever you want." We got the divorce. He moved into our daughter's old room, and Oliver moved in with me. Mark seemed to accept it, but he was seething with jealousy. There were shouting matches, once it even got physical. I had to threaten to call the cops, and I started throwing his things out on the lawn, but Oliver himself stopped me. "You can't blame the guy," he told me firmly. "And where's he supposed to go anyway?" After that, they just ignored each other. Then one day, I had to go into the city for errands and was gone all day. When I got back, I heard my ex-husband's voice from the kitchen. I caught fragments of his sentence. "Still love her, you know. The main thing is that she's happy. But know this, you hurt her, and I will personally break you in half." I walked into the kitchen to find a scene straight out of a movie. Both of them were completely wasted, sitting at the table with a bottle of whiskey and some half-eaten snacks, looking up at me with guilty, bleary eyes. "Hey honey." We were just. From that night on, they became friends. They play backgammon in the evenings, argue about football and politics, and go fishing together. Gradually, I started cooking for 3. I'd take Mark's laundry with ours. The 2 of them teamed up and completely renovated the bathroom. When I came down with the flu, neither of them left my side. We started celebrating all the holidays together. For his birthday, Mark bought Oliver the latest iPhone. Oliver, of course, returned the favor with an equally generous gift. I'd look at Mark and wonder, did I make the right choice? Did I make a huge mistake? I'd grown deeply attached to Oliver and had no intention of leaving him. But at the same time, I began to feel something stirring for Mark again, that old flicker of desire for him as a man. I think I would have gone crazy in his place. Oliver told me he even tried to set Mark up with a woman, a dispatcher at the transport company, a widow who'd been without a man for 3 years. Mark wouldn't hear of it. Then, one weekend, we set up a small table in the bedroom, brought in a bottle of good cognac, and it just happened. At first, my men were a little stiff, Mark was shy. This was all new territory for him. A nervous laugh would bubble up in me out of nowhere. But then, the good liquor warmed us up, we found our rhythm, and lost ourselves in the heat of the moment.